show prep, no solid plan. Spins a yarn, recants a tale. The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common Man, Common Man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Oh boy! Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello? Rhoda, you don't know nothing.
83-83 Wolves and Celtics tied in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Walt, trying to go right on Rip, can't find room, drops it down to Candy. Candy, the former #1 pick, going against the guy he was traded for, Mark. Paul Pierce open in the corner. Candy can't find him. He shoots. Blocked by Mark. Here comes Marcus the other way to Justin. Justin quickly to Ricky. Ricky through the lane. By Wally. By Candy for 2 at the buzzer. And it rolls in. And Kevin McHale looks at the Target Center crowd and says, "What do you think of my general managing now?" As the Wolves are NBA champions here in Minneapolis.
Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay.
Let's play.
Wow, what a great how to pick up chicks at the Rube Chat Party Mind. Wow, what a great dissecting and analyzing the Rube Chat Party Mind. Wow, what a great knowing how the Golden Gopher basketball season is going to play out, despite the fact that he hasn't watched more than 5 minutes of any game all season and doesn't know more than 3 players on the team and couldn't find Williams Arena with a GPS system or a Rand McAnally map. Mind.
I'm sick of it, man. I really am. I'm fed up with all the crap that I hear. I think it's bandwagon. I really do, man. These guys lay it on the line. These guys are in the training room, man. Guys lay it on the line, man. They lay it on the line. Sometimes it doesn't happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing what a sophisticated offensive game plan looks like. You talk about...
I'm a fraud.
Yes.
You like that? You like that?
He's the clown from Brown.
Fraud,
He's
though.
the 4th in the North.
I do lie for a
This
living.
is the common man, Dan Cole.
But I'm honest about it. You know, much of what I say today will be a... Is it bold-faced lie or bald-faced lie? Sorry to do the bald joke, Kennedy. Sorry about that. How did you lose your hair? How irresponsible can you be? Isaac Whitty, as funny a bit as there's ever been convicted. I don't like to say I'm losing my hair. It makes me sound irresponsible. Wow. I watched it last night. We'll dive into it. Byron Buxton changes his spot in the batting order. He hits a home run. All the Lynx do is win. National Hockey League, are they skipping another day or are they playing tonight?
They play tonight.
Pivotal Game 5 between the Canes. Do you call them the Hurricanes or the Canes?
I'm a Hurricanes guy.
Yeah, I call them the Canes, or sometimes I just call them the Hurries.
Are there fans Caniacs?
Caniac. Michael Sembello did a song called Maniac. Game 5, pivotal Game 5 that could determine. Here's what I'll tell you, Tenby. Whoever wins tonight's game is going to have a 1-game lead on the other club. With all of those topics to get to, we don't know where to begin. Let's do Wheel of Topic.
Commons golf game.
What'd you shoot today?
80.
Where'd we play?
Prestwick at Wedgwood and Woodbury.
Where'd you hit it on one?
Up the gut, straight.
How far from the green?
I had a 9-iron in my hand.
Second shot?
Hit it on the green.
Then what?
Surprisingly. A two-putt. Just missed birdie.
Incredible.
But as I'm pulling the putter back, have I told you this? Inside information guy says birdie in the first hole is bad luck. So sometimes if I have a birdie putt in the first hole, I don't decide whether I'm going to make it or not until I'm just ready to strike the ball. Because I kind of believe in the bad luck. It was okay today, Tenneby. I'm starting to slowly lose the bad case of the jitters. And the key moment for me was I shot 42 on the front. Had another nice backside. Yesterday was a 36. I go par birdie. Then I go bogey, par, bogey. Get to 16, hit a great drive, and then I hit this terrible forward off the heel, and it just dribbles up ahead. It's so bad, I have like just shy of 160 to the pin on the left into the wind. And my 7-wood's probably a 175 club if I hit it well. But I don't dare right now. I'm hitting my iron so poorly. I don't dare hit an iron there. So I go, well, I'm going to have to hit a 7-wood here and just hope it holds the green. And I just hit this gorgeous, high, arcing 7-wood that went long. I mean, it went past, the pin was left front. I hit it back left. So I had 30 feet downhill and cozied it up to about 1.5 feet and tapped in. And yeah, so I saved the round, and I'm feeling good about myself. I really, truly am. So that's where I stand with my game. How about you? Did you get a chance to play today?
No.
Will you get a chance?
I played on Monday, which means in about 3 more weeks I'll play again.
That's kind of unfortunate. But you know what? This is the best. Can I just say this? Do you remember when Phil Mickelson lost to Payne Stewart at the U.S. Open, and then Payne Stewart grabbed him by the face and said, he grabbed him by the shoulders and looked. Phil was really young at the time. He hadn't won a major yet. And, obviously Phil was dejected and devastated. But of course his wife, Phil's wife, was pregnant, expecting child. And he went up to him and he grabbed him by the shoulders. He looked him in the face on the 72nd hole and he said, "You're about to be a father. You're about to be the father," which I'm sure Phil's going, I know that, but that doesn't lessen the blow of losing the U.S. Open.
I'd like to be a father who just won the U.S. Open.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And so, Tenneby, you're a father, and you're going to enjoy these times, getting up early and going to sporting events instead of hitting knockdown, punch, cut, fade draws. There'll be plenty of time for you to play golf, we hope. So, that is that.
The problem is, by the time that happens, father time will have caught up to me.
Well, there's that.
So my best golf may be behind me.
Trust me, I think I told you this before. I made this announcement. It was breaking news last week. I'm transitioning. I played some yellow tees today. I'm not embarrassed by it, and I'm not ashamed to say it. And I don't feel like I'm cheating the game. I just don't have the power anymore. I can't hit the ball much more than 230. And so if you're
that's what the tee boxes are for. That's exactly why they have different tee boxes.
I mean, even 380 gets to be much for me because especially if it's a lot of those tees, by the way, they're as the crow flies. They're not as, they don't go like dog leg left to right, which really, if you hit a great drive in a second shot, it's a 400-yard hole. So that's why they're there, and I'm not going to apologize for it anymore. I do have some breaking news to get to, Tenneby. We've just established a new website here at the fan, or a new email address, I guess is what it would be. It's called marketing@kfan.com. And you, Mr. Business Owner, Mr. Would-be Advertiser, if you would like to let our listeners, and we have hundreds of thousands of listeners daily, and you'd like to let them know about your business, about your goods and services and your products, and you'd like to advertise those and make them known here on the Common Man program, or really of any of the shows, just go to marketing@kfan.com. It's that simple. Remember, this radio is red hot. Call this radio station or the Radio Advertising Bureau to find out more. A wise man once said, "A dog with a note in its mouth could sell the fan." So I still don't know why we haven't gone to the Humane Society and adopted a couple of dogs, but we have a really good sales staff. I don't think we call them salespeople anymore. We call it integrated solution provider. Integrated media solutions provider. I think that's what the title is. The titles change. We talked titles just the other day. You're interim producer. I'm resident gadfly. Everybody's got their lot in life, and it is what it is. You know what I saw? I saw Fallness and Helby here wandering the hallways. Were they taking batting practice, getting ready for tomorrow's program password invitational tournament semifinal matchup? It's Cove and Common. We're the number 2 seed. We're facing. Were they the
6th seed? Yeah, they pulled off the upset.
They're the 6th seed. High Energy Helby and Kevin Fallness, and they were both here today. Were they on the air, or were they working?
Fallness was on with Nordo.
Oh, okay. I thought
maybe they on the side.
Maybe they're working on their game. I don't know how you practice for program password. I guess you could just come up with a list of words and just say, let's try to establish some kind of a wavelength between the two of us.
So you and Corey are not practicing, is what you're saying?
We don't practice. Here's what I'll tell you.
I feel like Marnie and Lil B have practiced before.
Really?
Yeah, they have. They've discussed, when I inflect my voice this way, this is what I mean.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Cove and I we've never done that. And I don't think we're going to do that anytime soon. I'm not one of those. It's sort of like in the game of golf. I don't like to go to the driving range and use my swings up there. I'll just wait till I get to the golf course. Do you remember the day at Legends Golf Club when I played Wordle on the air?
Yes.
And I couldn't figure it out. I solved Wordle yesterday in 2 words.
Look at you.
It's almost become. It doesn't stimulate.
It's not challenging enough?
It doesn't stimulate me intellectually. I never miss anymore, ever. I usually get it in 3 or 4. Sometimes this takes me the 5th or the 6th. Have you heard of Quordle?
I've heard of it, yes.
You play 4 games at the same time. And the letters you guess, let's say you use the word steal, like the common man is stealing from iHeart every day. That comes up for all 4 words, and then it shows that I'm merely having trouble even figuring it out, which means it's going to challenge me intellectually. I'd like to see you try it sometime if you ever get an opportunity. It's called Quordle. So it's another game. Maybe we'll get into that at another time. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a break. The winds have changed. They are blowing over at the new Winter Park, the TCO Performance Center. It's Peek at the Purple next, brought to you by Affordable Electric. We'll break. We'll come back and talk a little purple right here at the government program of the fan.
Score your chance at top-tier tickets from John Mulaney to the Smashing Pumpkins, My Chemical Romance, and more. Don't wait. Enter now at KFAN.com. Keyword contest.
You know what my favorite Smashing Pumpkin song is? Sugar, oh, honey, honey, ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. You are my candy girl. And I think I'm loving you. Time for Peek at the Purple, brought to you by Affordable Electric. Affordable-Electric for all of your electrical needs. And, Tennessee mentioned that they lost power out at his neck of the woods after that storm the other night. If you think you have electrical issues because of the storm, maybe some damage, maybe a breaker box did this, that, flickering lights, whatever the case may be. If you have any questions about your electrical system after the storm, or if you just have any electrical needs at all, it's pretty simple. It's affordable-electric.com, or you can call or text 612-331-VOLT. 612-331-VOLT or affordable-electric.com, affordable-electric.com. Affordable Electric is, oh boy, it's shockingly affordable. You looped me in on this, Tennessee. This is Alec Lewis of The Athletic. He says, this is a tweet from Alec that says, the Vikings are making front office changes per sources. Assistant GM Demetrius Washington is seeking other opportunities. Do you think he just woke up this morning? Sunlight hurt it. Sunlight. Morning, girl. Sunlight. Is that sunlight hurt my eyes?
Hit my eyes?
Hit my, whatever it is. Do you think he just got up this morning and said, I'm going to seek some other opportunities? Or do you think they said, you might want to seek some other opportunities? My guess it's the latter, I think. But all it says here is, Assistant General Manager Demetrius Washington is seeking other opportunities. Senior Personnel Executive Jamal Stevenson, Senior College Executive Pat Roberts, and Pro Scout Solly Clavelli won't return, which I guess is expected when you have a new general manager. They hired Nolan Teasley, I believe, if I remember the name correctly, and it's not the first time that when there's changes in the front office, when any company has a change, it doesn't have to be just a sports franchise, it can be any team. When there are changes in the hierarchy, oftentimes whoever's now in charge decides, I want to bring in some people that I know. Because I don't know, if Washington, Stevenson, Robertson, Clavelli were not any good at their jobs. They might have all been very good at it. I don't know. Are they, on a scale of 1 to 10, were they 10s at what they did? Were they 5s? Were they 2s? Can they make that last? But there's a shakeup in the front office, and if you are a Vikings fan, you hope it is for the positive and it works out that way. And again, will we ever really know? Well, I don't even know what senior personnel executive. What does that even mean? Well, I don't know. They have a senior, a junior, a sophomore, a freshman. There's probably 4 guys working that office, and what they do, I have no idea. Senior college executive, I would assume that's the guy that is in charge of college scouting, and he's number 1 on that list. And pro scout Clavelli, he looks at pro players and decides who we might want. I have no idea what they do, but
there's a new sheriff in town.
Yeah, there is a new sheriff, and I've said this before, Tenneby. In talking about it, and I don't recall why the subject came up. It was probably another front office shakeup from the past, but if you get hired for a job, it is probably it happened to me when I've programmed 5 radio stations. Okay,
5?
Well, okay, 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. And there were times I hired people that I had worked with in the past because I knew their strengths, their weaknesses. I knew they could do the things they needed to do to make them good and help the radio station. So that could be the same case here with Teasley. Is these guys might all be good at what they do, but he has a couple of guys that he knows can be his right hand men, right? Or women, whatever the case may be, that he can trust, that he thinks can do the job. So we'll see. But that's the news out of Winter Park.
So if you got your own sports talk show host, let's say in St. Paul in the 651, you'd be more than willing to bring me along to come help you out and assist you, right?
Well, if you'll remember, you asked for this job, by the way. Is that your biggest regret? People say, if you could go back and change anything in your life, would you? A lot of people go, wouldn't change a thing. I think I know what you would change. That would be, hey, Common, I would like the opportunity to produce your show. Because I had an opening, because it was Ethan the Eel McIntosh, who was very active in the evenings, and then it was Davy Joe Simser. And then, do you remember why we called him Davy Joe Simser? Because his name was Dave Simser.
Yep.
But we were at, I don't even remember what it was, where it was a company function. And Anselmo was thanking everybody. He goes, a lot of people behind the scenes don't get a lot of credit. Joe Simser. His name is Dave.
I always loved that one.
You called him Joe Simser. He didn't know.
Probably confused it with Joe Censored, didn't he?
Vikings Uncensored. Joe Censored. Yeah, so that's why we started calling him Davy Joe Simser.
I still remember in the early days of producing your show. Mm-hmm. This is back when local teams used to send us stuff all the time, right? Like Twins would send you like bobbleheads. Yeah. It was Torrey Hunter bobblehead night. Yeah. Now they just all send it to the Power Trip Morning Show. Mm-hmm. But back then they used to send it to all
Power Trip Morning Show.
And it was very humbling when I believe one of the local teams sent something and it was written to Dave Tenneby.
Dave.
They thought my last name was Teneby and my first name was Dave.
Dave, yeah. Well, that'll happen. It is humbling when you realize that they really don't know who you are, where you've been, where you're going, and where you're at. But I told you, I said, I've already asked one other person. And that was my old talk show host partner, the capable Carl Allen. The station, though, kind of didn't want to go that direct because they thought if you bring Carl on, it will turn into more of a two-person talk show because that's the relationship we had when we did when we were working here at the Fan. And so, but it was nothing against you or the possible, the strengths and weaknesses or whatever that you would bring to the. It was the idea that, well, I knew Carl's strength and weaknesses. Sure. We worked well together, and that's the direction I wanted to go. So maybe that's what's happening here with Nolan Teasley. Let's say you were to get hired as a producer across town in the 651, and they said, can you think of a talk show host you'd like to work with? That's what I thought.
I'd find my own capable Carl Allen.
You'd find your own capable Carl Allen. I understand that. Let's take a break and come back. That's Peek at the Purple is brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. For all of your electrical needs, it's affordable-electric.com. It was eye-opening. It was shocking. Like Affordable Electric, shockingly affordable. 29-point deficit, the Knickerbockers. The Knickershockers is what we're calling them, the Knickershockers. Or they drove the fans Knickerbonkers last night with that victory. 29-point deficit, they come back to win by 1. Take a commanding 3-1 lead. We'll talk about that and other topics as well here on the Common Man program on the Fan.
The Common Man.
Oh, wait.
KFAN's going all out for America's 250th, dropping $250,000 in cash. Each weekday through July 3rd, you can win your share with $2,500. Listen for the keyword, enter it at KFAN.com starting at 8 a.m. and plan your ultimate U.S. adventure.
Power Trip Morning Show's on at 8 a.m. Power Trip Morning Show. So McAfee,
you can also get that keyword at 2 p.m., but we'll just mention 8 a.m. in the vibe.
Why not?
Yeah.
So McAfee steals the Grum. Came up with some, and they stole it from us.
Yes.
And he says, I don't remember what his cohort said where they got somebody else, I don't know what they said. Now they're doing game shows like we are. We started doing Program Pass. We've been doing that for how many years now?
We're on like year 5.
5 years. So that McAfee must have caught wind of it. They're doing a program feud. So they're doing Family Feud. I guess I'm sure they said we can't do password. We can't completely steal. We've already stolen the Grum, the program from that Minneapolis show, from that Minneapolis radio station. We just can't do the same game. So they just picked up Family Feud and turned it into a program feud. And what they're doing, they have the NFL Live crew facing his panel of stooges. He calls them stooges, not me. That's what they call them. We're just a panel of stooges, and don't sue us. I wonder if the Power Chip has that same disclaimer. Don't sue us, because they're controversial. We know that. Teneby, I gave up on the game, but I saw it because I didn't turn it off. I just did the old, I'll turn the sound down, and I'll try to do Wordle, read some stories. It was a blowout. Was it 27 or 29 at the half? I mean, San Antonio got out to a quick start right away. They took it to New York, and New York, they pushed back a little bit. It was like 14-2 or 12-2 to start the game right out of the gate. And then New York, I think, they went on a little mini run of their own, and they cut the lead to 4 or 6. But Wemby was that San Antonio team's. I know eventually they'll have to pay all those guys because they've got young players on the team that aren't making those max contracts yet. But they're going to have to. They're eventually going to have to pay the piper. But right now they're a really good club, and they got out to a big lead, and then lo and behold, come out at the half. I think starting third quarter they cut that 29-point lead to I think it was 15. So they got half of it back, and you're still thinking, oh, that's all fine and good. There's that theory that you expend so much energy coming back that you can't get over the top, right? And I've always kind of dismissed that because what amount of the deficit is too much that you're going to, you're going to use all your energy? Do you have to fight really hard to fight back from a 10-point deficit, 15-point deficit, 20, or in this case, 29? And you would think if you are going to have to expend so much energy to get back into the game, it would be a 29. It'd be a 29-point deficit. But Charles Barkley, I think he was very astute in his analysis immediately following the game. He said, San Antonio's just stupid. They're a stupid team. They played stupid basketball because what they did was in the first half, I don't have the numbers in front of me. Tell me, maybe you have them or heard them. They were like, 9 of 11 or 10 of 12 from three-point range. They couldn't miss. They were on a heater. In the second half, were they, 4 of 17 or 2 of 26? The numbers were awful. They could not hit the broadside of a barn in the second half. Yet they kept jacking up threes, and you're thinking to yourself, as you're watching the game, you're thinking, well, they might want to just try to drain some clock here. I mean, the clock, not only were the Spurs the Knickerbockers' enemy, but so was the clock, right? And yet they just, instead of just running their offense, and I don't know why you just wouldn't keep. To me, it seems like the most effective offense in basketball at the moment is lob it to Wemby underneath and let him just, he doesn't have to, when he slams dunk, he doesn't have to leave his feet. He can just grab it and then put it down into the basket. I don't know why you wouldn't continue. Now, I'm sure the Knicks had something to do with that. They were probably, collapsing on Wemby, but they just went ice cold from three-point range, and the Knicks just kept getting closer and closer. And then there was that run in the fourth quarter where Knicks would make a 3 or a 2, and then the Spurs would miss. Knicks would get a 3 or a 2, and the Spurs would miss. And then there was a critical moment where, was it Hart? Is it Josh Hart? Or is Josh Hart an actor? The Hart guy I don't know what his first name is.
I know his last name's Hart.
Yeah. He gets a steal. There's a bad pass.
It is Josh Hart.
Josh Hart. He picks off
I think there's a Josh Hartnett, isn't there?
That's
who
who I'm thinking of, Josh Hartnett. So maybe Josh Hartnett would have made a different decision than Josh Hart. Josh Hart intercepted a pass. It was actually a bad pass. It was almost thrown right to him. He's got a fast break, one guy trailing him. And at the last second, it looks like he doesn't know if he wants to slam it or lay it up. So he kind of just does an underhanded with his layup kind of a thing. It bounces off the backboard and the rim and doesn't go in. And that looked like it was going to be, because I think that would have given New York a 1-point lead or would have put them up by 3. Because they didn't get the lead in the game until, they never led until late in the fourth quarter. But then, Wemby missed 2 free throws, just a critical 2 free throws. And then, Knicks get the ball. Was there 10 seconds left? They go down the court, 5 seconds, whatever. Why can't I think of his name? Their point guard.
Jalen Brunson.
Brunson puts up a kind of a pretty much a desperation 3. I mean, they know he's going to shoot the basketball. If you want your best shooter to shoot, your clutch guy to shoot, and he's kind of fading away on a long 3-pointer, hits the rim, and then Anunoby, is that how you say it? He comes out of nowhere and gets the tip in, goes in 1.5. The Spurs inbound the ball, can't score, and that's the end of the game. It was the largest. Do I have that right? Is it the largest comeback in the history of the NBA Finals, I think? 29 points down. I mean, it's like, it did seem a mountain too tall to climb. And like I said, I mean, I didn't stick with the game. I'm not going to sit here and say, this Knickerbockers never quit. I think they can still win this game. I just kept it on. Just boredom. And they kept whittling away. And it was astonishing, really. But I don't think it was so much how well New York played, and they did play well. I just think I agree with Barkley that San Antonio just didn't. They kept jacking up 3-pointers. They just kept jacking up 3 after 3, and it just didn't work out for them because they couldn't make any. And then the Knickerbockers won the game, and it was bedlam inside the arena.
Sure.
And I think there was the note that there was a statistic the other night that said 69% of Knicks fans. No, how did they figure out the number? Most of them weren't. We talked about this yesterday. Most of them weren't even alive when the Knickerbockers won their last World Championship back in '73. All the beautiful people were out there again today, last night. Spike Lee is gone to a lot of games. Spike Lee has been a fan of the Knicks
for a long time.
For a long time. He's had decades of heartbreak and agony, right? I don't know how many of those others, the McEnroes, the Eli Mannings, the Larry Davids, the Jerry Seinfelds. Tay-Tay was there last night.
I saw that.
Do you think she's ever been to a basketball game before up until then? Her and a couple of her girlfriend singers, too. There's 2 other singers. I did not recognize their names. I don't think they're quite as popular as she is. And they had cute little shirts on. Hers said Stevie Nicks, and then spelled K-N-I-C-K-S. And then someone else had Nickelback, one of her girlfriends, and that was K-N. And there was another Nicks that they had, another artist of some sort, or another name of a band.
Nick's Jonas?
Maybe it was Nick's Jonas. I don't know.
Tay-Tay, I saw a video that popped up on my feed once of her discussing, because I think it was on somebody's podcast, that when on her first date with Travis Kelce, she knew so little about football that she asked him, she goes, what was it like in the Super Bowl to be like on one side of the ball and your brother's on the other side of the ball? And Travis had to explain to him, well, we're both on offense and we're never on the ball. We're never on the field at the same time.
Right.
And she didn't know.
Yeah. They weren't on the field at the same time? I didn't know that either. Hey-o! So,
but basketball seemed a little more simple to understand than football.
Yeah, it does seem like it. But now Rosen, my guess is he'll be rooting for San Antonio in Game 5 because he wants a long series. Even though he wants the Knickerbockers to win because of Big Meow and his love of New York. But again, he can't. He when you box him up, when you say, well, you hate the Yankees, but you love the Knicks, if it's the city of New York, then which one is it? I don't think he knows whether he's coming or going half the time. But it was
that was the most disappointing thing with the result last night was because I did not see the game. I was playing old man hockey, but I knew the Spurs were up by a big amount, and I was going to text you. I was going to write, I bet Rosen's going to say the Spurs are going to win the series tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? Like he just flip-flops
right,
whatever the wind takes them.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the Knicks came back and took that away from us in the 2 o'clock hour. We would have gotten them going.
Yeah. And I don't know. We bet $4. I think I took the Spurs. I bet he was sweating it last night, too, when it was
well, sure.
It was just delicious. And so, again, I think I mentioned that I actually enjoyed the Knickerbockers' loss the other night because I just liked seeing the agony in the faces of all the beautiful people, all the Hollywood stars and sports stars that were all along the front row, all the best seats, because they're the ones that can afford them. I still can't believe, though, the prices of those, what it was to get into that arena. There was the one story where there was one couple that spent was it $21,000 on seats? For one game.
That's crazy.
That's just insane. And it wasn't like they were well-to-do. They admitted, I think they said they even had to take out a loan or something like that.
Come on.
That's what I thought I read. Here's what it is, tend to be. The third shirt said Nicole Kidman. Nick Cole, and spelled with a K. Nicole Kidman. That was
brilliant.
It says, who would be in Minnesota's celebrity role if a Timberwolves team was in the finals? Nick Swardson, Rosen, former guy that had the late night talk show.
Oh, Craig Kilborn.
Those would be
Who's the actor that's like the big Vikings fan from North Dakota?
Josh Hartnett.
No. Well, he's from Minnesota too, I think.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
We don't have a lot of options. We would almost need other professional athletes in town, right? Like we need like Justin Jefferson to show up.
Yeah.
Those would be our big celebrities.
Yeah.
Maybe Lizzo? Lizzo, yeah.
At one point versus the Knicks, the Spurs were shooting 60% on three-pointers until they couldn't anymore. Barkley was right, and I almost gave up on it, too. Yeah, I mean, he was spot on. And if you're watching the game, I think most people, and I'm a casual, but even I could figure out as I'm watching the game, it's like, why did they keep just jacking up three-pointers? I guess when you're red hot like that, you figure, well, let's just keep shooting threes until we don't make them anymore. Well, they stopped making them, yet they kept shooting three after three. And I get it. I mean, if like there was a couple of times where the Knicks would cut it to, I don't know, near 10 points or 12. Then all of a sudden, Spurs would hit 2 or 3 3-pointers in a row again. It's back up near 20 again. So I know you knocked out Josh Duhamel.
That's
Josh Duhamel. We'd need Jimmy Jam.
Does he still live here?
Terry Lewis. Well, I don't know, but there still are celebrities. Because I don't know if Josh Duhamel lives here. And certainly, you just said his name. Kilborn doesn't live here. He's in L.A., but he is considered one of us, I guess.
Could we get Bob Dylan there?
My pillow guy.
Is he technically from South Dakota?
I don't know where he's from either. I have no idea. Yeah. I don't know.
Is it sad that we've like already reached the end of the list?
We've reached the end of the list.
We don't know where to go.
And to be truthful, it doesn't.
I mean, Tom Brady technically has family connections here.
Judy Garland's from Grand Rapids, but she's passed away, so that wouldn't work either. Yeah, it's kind of slim pickings. PA's a national treasure. He's national treasure, so that might work too. But so yeah, it was fun to watch. Now tonight it's game 5 between the Hurricanes and the Canes and the Golden Knights. Your thoughts on that? There's not much to say. You've said it a couple of times now. It seems like the series a coin flip, right?
Yeah. You ready for my prediction?
Yeah.
Tails. I didn't pick who was Tails, though. We'll say the Tails is the road team.
Okay.
So I'll go with the Vegas Golden Knights tonight.
All right, Vegas Golden Knights.
The weird thing going on right now with Carolina is their starting goaltender for most of the series, Frederik Andersen. He didn't play last game after he got pulled the previous game, and they didn't even suit him up. And then apparently at practice today, he skated before their practice but did not practice with the team. So I don't know what's going on with him. Whether there's something mental going on or they're not claiming he has an injury. They say he's healthy, that he was just a healthy scratch. So that's a little curious to just have your goalie not suiting up for games. But the guy who came in, I don't even remember his name, Brandon Bobby or something like that. I don't know. Bossy. He played great. He played very well at the end of game 3 when he got put in after they were down 4 goals. Played decent the other night, and he's going to get another shot. A guy who was an undrafted free agent, not drafted by anyone, has a chance to win a Stanley Cup.
Here's another celebrity sighting here if the Timberwolves were in the finals. Max Brosmer. Max Brosmer. Here's that stat I was looking at. 67% of New Yorkers, 67%, so almost 7 out of 10, weren't alive in 1973. Were not alive.
Is that much?
Yep.
That seems like a lot.
67% of New Yorkers were not alive in 1973. Well, going back to Barkley saying, San Antonio was stupid. I got to be careful here. But I have a theory that 7 out of 10 people you run across every day are stupid, just not very bright, right? Well, then if you narrow that down to professional athletes, I'm sure there are many that are really smart, right? Well speaks, back spoked. They've gotten a good education, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then, a lot of these guys that get to this level, how much schooling did they really do when they were in school, right? I mean, you go back to, it's always been, it's like, if you show that you're really special at sports, sometimes the classwork really doesn't matter. There's those old stories, and I don't know how true they are, but be back in high school, and coach would go to the science teacher and say, my science teacher was Mrs. Shattuck. Mrs. Shattuck, Billy needs a passing grade to be eligible. Well, Billy needs to do his work then. Billy's been really busy, and he just hasn't been able to. But he would pass if he really put the time in. But he did. He needs a passing grade, Mrs. Shattuck. I understand, and then he gets a passing grade, right? We had the Gangelhoff, not controversy, but Ganglegate, they call it, right? That's when the Gophers in 1997 got to the Final Four, and that all those victories were vacated because apparently Jan Gangelhoff did coursework for some of the players. I mean, how many guys coming out of football players? I mean, if they were to use before in a sentence, it would be 2 + 2 be 4. And they leave after their sophomore year, and they go, and same with the NBA, guys going young, leaving after 1 year. So maybe they are just not that bright. And so it's like, I'm just going to keep jacking up threes. Let's just keep jacking up threes. I mean, how many times do you see athletes make the same mistake over and over and over again? So I don't know if it has to do with, my lack of education hasn't hurt me, and I can still read the writing on the wall. But sometimes I do wonder. It makes me wonder, as Robert Plant once sang song. Let's go ahead and take a break. Come back. We got Legendary One will join us before 2. We'll see what he has to say about what happened at Madison Square Garden last night. Other side of the break, though, Tennessee has a 534 for us, and I'm sure he has a tease right now as well.
Do you spell Byron Buxton MVP?
The Common Man.